And here we have some perforated car leather. What the heck do we do with perforated car leather and how do we clean it? So welcome back, boys and girls. Perforated car leather, that is the subject of today. I showed you a close-up shot of my own leather in my car. How do we deal with it? What are the tools? What are the techniques? Is there some tricks in order to obtain desired results? That's what I'm going to show you today, so let's get started. Here we have our seat. Let me assemble my arsenal. My microfiber cloth. That's my go-to cloth, virtually anything I'm doing with detailing. My cleaner, simple green, diluted down, 10:1. 1 part concentrate, 10 parts water. Here is a selection of tools, brushes specifically, that I use to detail the interior of cars. But not necessarily the tools that I use in cleaning the perforations of car leather seating. And by the way, it doesn't necessarily have to be car leather. It could actually be car vinyl. Nonetheless, perforations, they can be a pain in the butt. So what happens is you will get some spills. You might get some debris from food, dirt, whatever it is. Stuff gets in those little holes that you don't want in those little holes. How do we get that stuff that we don't want out of those little holes? So, first things first. As a rule, when it comes to detailing interior cars, you want to remove the dry debris first. So that requires the use of a vacuum cleaner. You can take your brush of choice and you can agitate the area and suck up as much of the dry material first. That's always the accepted rule, regardless of whether you're shampooing carpeting, floor mats, leather, matters not. Perforations, it's no exception. You want to get the dry stuff out first. But often, especially if it's a liquid spill or it's some debris that started out dry but has had some type of liquid introduced to it, it will cling to those little tiny holes of which you have to get clean. So let me introduce you to a few of my tricks. And by the way, if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and pause it. If not now, I'll try to remind you to do it at the end. What I'm curious is, because I introduced these tools to the world of detailing, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 years ago. One of you could actually search my channel and find out exactly when I did it. I think I was working on a Range Rover when I shot the video. So here we have a gum stimulator. Now, for the record, I am a tooth person. I like teeth. I've spent quite a bit of money on my own teeth. I did not have the privilege of being raised with braces, so I had to get them much later in life. The point is this gum stimulator is all about oral hygiene. So despite how vigilant you are in using a toothbrush to clean your teeth, this is useful because it's rubber. It's got a point to it, so it can get up above the gum line where your toothbrush cannot. So I took this from a different industry and applied it to the world of auto detailing. This is a perfect tool for getting down with that little rubberized, not even rubberized, it's just a rubber pointed tip. And they're replaceable, by the way, because believe it or not, you will actually bend these, tweak these, break these, rip them, tear them, wear them down if you use them often enough, and they will have to be replaced without replacing the metal handle. So I will use this and I will meticulously push and prod whatever is required to clean the perforations. Now sometimes you need to introduce some liquid to it. Now I know many of you go into freak out mode. Now I'm just gonna rub this around. A lot of you will go into freak out mode because you will think in your head, okay, the perforations, that allows the materials underneath to be exposed to the elements outside of the perforations. Valid point, a true point. But with that said I'm not being inappropriate about it. Meaning I already accept, because of logic and reason, that I need to perhaps tone down the amount of liquid that I introduce into this moment. But with that said I also understand that I may need some liquid and allow some type of dwell time for it to break down a crusted piece of something might be vomit. I've cleaned up many vomit spills. Really, when it comes to cars, anything goes. Some of it I could actually talk about. Some of it would be disturbing if I talked about it. Point being is, you're gonna need a liquid most of the time after you've already done your best to get the dry stuff out. So you introduce the liquid, you spray it on top, you don't go crazy with it, and now you just poke and prod with this rubber tip until you have results. So you poke and prod, you wipe up, you check your results. It may or may not have disappeared or been cleaned away. But wait, there's more, folks. There's these cool little brushes called interdental brushes. What these are is little miniature, we could call them detailing brushes. How about that? These come as individual, disposable, little tiny, literally, I would call it a detail brush. It's very detailed in nature. It's a very tiny, conical, however you want to enunciate or pronounce that word, shaped shaft with little bristles on it. So those little bristles can be inserted into those tiny little perforated holes, and you can literally scrub your way to success. And I know that seems time consuming and tedious. What you have to be mindful when using these is that the shaft, I know in some ways we could apply that word in a disturbing way, but it is what it is. So that shaft is made out of metal, and that tip is exposed metal, but it's a very fine tip. So you need to be very conscientious when you use one of these, but they are very effective. Often more effective than this slick rubberized tool that doesn't really grab, it just kind of prods and protrudes into the hole. So between these two, they're my go-to, and once again on my website or the links below this video, it'll take you to my website, because there's these brushes that are actually contained on a handle like this. And so they're a little more user-friendly. That's gonna be a choice only you can make. So with that said, now you know my tricks, you know the cleaning solution I use, you know my tools that I use. Something that you need to be aware of, especially if you're a professional upcoming detailer, is this. Often when you get some type of dirt or debris wet, it will change color, as in it will darken up. So you think that it's gone or it's been cleaned away, and then you walk away and you do something else, and then you come back and you're walking by and you do a double take, you're like, whoa, stop the press. I cleaned that. What the heck is going on there? Well, what has happened is you didn't clean it thoroughly enough to actually remove it 100%. And so as it dries, it reveals itself again. So you really need to be overly conscientious, especially with perforated seating, because those perforations, they're very tiny holes. There's not going to be a lot of air flowage going into it and drying it. So that drying time, if you introduce liquid into it, which generally you're going to have to do, it's going to be delayed. So you may have to wait 5 or 10 minutes, go do something else as part of your task of detailing, come back and double check your work. I think you'll find quite often that you did not get it as thoroughly as you thought. So that's my little added Darren's note of like, hey, you really got to double check your work when it comes to this. Also, you need to be aware that sometimes the dirt, or what you think is dirt in the perforations, is not dirt at all. It's fibers from the underlying substrate material actually poking through the holes themselves. So you may sit there and poke and prod at it, and based on how good your eyesight is or isn't, you may be misinterpreting what your eyes are seeing. You may think it's dirt that you can pick away, prod away, poke away, when in fact there are fibers that are coming up through the substrate material. So what I do in that case, and that's where I lean towards this brush or this utensil, because it's rubber, it's pointed, and it's smooth. So I can actually push those fibers back in and manipulate them back under and submit them back into their proper place of which they belong, because they don't belong in the view of my customer or me as a detailer, because I don't want that. I want perfection. So that's my little added note. With that said, I'll cut it there. Question of the day, this is a reminder. I want to know who on what other detailing channel, because now there's channels everywhere about detailing. I want to know if there's someone else that has introduced these or is using these in their videos. And if you really want to do some intel, go to my station, search for car leather cleaning. I don't know if I have a dedicated video entitled How to Clean Perforated Leather, but somewhere in there I'm using this tool. And if not, you're going to see it in my bucket jockey bag of interior tools located there. I'm curious to do the math of which came first, because I am constantly seeking outside of this industry that I'm so fond of and have been part of for over 30 years, and I find it forever frustrating that I have to go outside of my own industry in order to find the perfect detailing tool. And here I am going to the dental or the oral hygiene world to find, yet again, the perfect tool. So that's your homework assignment today if you choose to take on this mission. In the event that you have been captured, all intelligence of your whereabouts will be divulged, and I'm not saying that properly. What do they say after Mission Impossible? In the event, James, that you have been captured, your identity will be disavowed by us and you will be considered irrelevant. I don't know what they say, something like that. Anyhow, guys, by all means, leave me a comment. Let me know, how do you clean perforations in the seating? Do you even bother to clean it? And if you have any cool little stories between you and a customer because you either cleaned it and they noticed it and they said, wow, you nailed the details, or you failed to clean it and they noticed it and it's like, wow, you didn't nail the details. How come you didn't nail the details? So share with us, share with me those stories if you're inclined. So thank you in advance if you do. If not, we'll see you on the next video.